Train by day, Kyle Wigginton podcast by night, all day.
You know, I've got allergies out the butthole.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think allergies are?
Stuff. Aren't they like hair and pollen and stuff?
Yeah, but like, let's think about it for a second. I mean, we'll start this off with Colton Patterson.
Kyle Wintersharper.
That's exactly right. Look at this. You can tell
It's haunted.
this is the first podcast back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're trying to get everything finessed again.
Right.
Is that broken? I don't know. It's probably bent. Anyway, allergies.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you actually
Allergies. Maybe it's Hindu.
allergies. Allah. That's not Hindu.
That's not Hindu.
That's Muhammad or something, right?
Yeah.
Islam.
Yeah.
But no, it's like it's you being sick because of your environment.
Right.
Like you would think that these bodies being made out of the environment would actually be able to survive in the environment, right?
And you would think the millions of years that we've had to work on it, allergies would be a thing of the past, but
We would evolve past that.
you would think so. Maybe I'm the weaker species then.
I have allergies.
Oh. And God knows you're not a weaker species.
No, I mean, I have them too. I think a lot of people have them,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I have my own theories of what allergies are caused by, but you know, we don't have to go into that. We don't have to go into that. No, I think that, I think the human species, the evolution of the human species has been slowed down.
Probably has been, or it's been just because of cars and antibiotics and all that stuff.
Oh, see, I think you're getting there. I don't know how
Getting there?
cars are like part of it.
Well, it's
But
because like we were made for running, right?
Okay.
And now we don't run nearly as much.
that's a good point. Yeah,
We take a car everywhere.
that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe if we had to run to the grocery store, a lot of people would just give up.
Yeah. And we would lose a lot of
They wouldn't procreate.
no. Yeah.
That's the problem is we're letting weak people procreate.
Right. I don't want to turn this into a pro eugenics podcast, but
I mean, you don't have to be pro eugenics, but you can see that, you know, some people should be limited on the amount of kids that they have.
yeah,
That is eugenics, isn't it?
that's eugenics.
God damn it.
Louis C.K. has the great bit where he's like, it's peanut allergies are terrible and it's horrible that kids can die from it. But if we just went one generation where we didn't care about them, we could cut out the peanut allergy.
Do you think it would actually work?
I don't know. I don't know what causes peanut allergies. I guess peanuts.
I mean, where does it come from? So there's this guy that I read a while back. This is gonna be the most controversial thing I've said besides eugenics being okay. This is a good start. We're off to a good start.
Off to a great start.
Vaccines.
Yeah.
Boom. Podcast immediately taken off at YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a guy who wrote extensively on vaccines in the 1920s. And one of the things he said was that whenever you introduce a vaccine to the body, they put these things in. I believe they're called adjuvants. And what they're supposed to do, and I could have got that totally wrong, but what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to stimulate your immune system to react.
Yeah.
So when they put these into your body with that little piece of the dead virus,
Right.
your immune system is supposed to react because of that adjuvant, and it's supposed to look at that piece of dead virus and go, okay, this must be the problem because it's a new thing in the body.
Right.
So one of the things that he says happens is that your body, think of it as a clean machine.
Okay.
Okay. We introduce vaccines at a very young age, as soon as you pop out of the womb, essentially. There could be something in your system, such as a piece of a peanut, that your body's like, well, this isn't part of me. So this must be the problem.
Oh.
So then that adjuvant looks at the peanut and goes, okay, well, you're the problem. Now you're an allergy. And then you have an autoimmune disorder for the rest of your life.
Damn.
Anytime a peanut's introduced, the body attacks.
Okay. That's something to think about.
It actually makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense.
I hate how much it makes sense.
Yeah. How would a peanut get in a little kid?
I don't know. It could be something that the mother ate and then it got into the baby as it was being born. And then the body looks at it and goes, okay, well, this is not something that's naturally supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. It's a problem. Or who knows? Maybe a lot of people have skin allergies.
Yeah.
So it could be something was on the skin whenever the baby took the vaccines and the body goes, okay, well, this isn't supposed to be here. Boom. We have a skin allergy, inflammation.
All right, something to think about. Something to write a research paper on.
I mean, someone should. I'm not going to.
No, I'm not going to.
I mean, there is one out there. That's what I read.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, I think the papers are out there. It's just that people aren't reading them.
Yeah. You got to put it all together.
I wish. You think there is a person smart enough to put it all together?
Yeah. They got smart people out there.
But a lot of people that are really smart, they're localized.
What do you mean? Like they're just in one?
Yeah, they're specialized. They're like in one area, and that's why we think they're really smart.
Okay.
Because they're like, this is my specialty.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually grabbing everything and pulling, like the Renaissance man, right? He doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So when it comes to like actually pulling it together, I think you need someone that's got a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
or actually a lot of everything.
Yeah, that's kind of true because one of my really good friends, he's a genius at math. Like he can square numbers and stuff in his head, but he doesn't know anything about history.
Oh yeah,
like he might not know who 4 presidents ago was.
Well, and the crazy thing about it is when you start breaking history down in a mathematical way, it is mathematics.
It's all math. Math comes back. Like even in nature, math is there.
Yeah, geometry.
Insane. Yeah,
sacred geometries, man. Yeah, I think even history. Because, you can break history down in waves, right?
Yeah.
Like we have a wave of like an emperor comes in, then the emperor gets overthrown and it goes down and boom. So that's actually just a spiral when you think about it. Going through time, a sine wave. Yeah. Because the sine wave is just a spiral. So everything is really just vortex geometry. So your mathematical buddy, I think he's on the right track.
He's putting some stuff together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Mostly about sports betting.
Oh,
but
I mean, he game the system, I guess, Yeah. But I think this is a system too. Why not game it?
Game it. Everything's a game.
Who's your buddy? Can we get him on the podcast?
Might be able to. You know him, Steven.
Steven's the math genius?
Steven's a math genius.
That's awesome.
Cole is really smart with math too.
Yeah, he's an IT guy. I knew Cole was an IT dude. I didn't know Steven was too.
Steven's an accountant right now.
Oh, it makes sense. He's good at math.
He's great at math. He got 2 B's in college.
Nice.
I mean, so did I, but you don't see me bragging.
What, 2 B's and like, how many D's and F's?
You got all A's.
Right, yeah.
I, on the other hand, had to drop a couple of classes.
You're like, all I got was 2 B's.
Yeah, and I was celebrating them. This is kind of funny. A guy in my fraternity in college, he was not very smart. And I was asking about like, which accounting class should I take? And he goes, oh, you should take so-and-so. I didn't even study and I got a D.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, that tracks for not studying. Like
accounting 1?
Accounting 201.
That's accounting 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So accounting 1 was easy for me in college, but accounting 2 was a fucking bitch.
When they get all the financial records and stuff in. Yeah.
Dude, I think that was one of the classes I struggled with most in college was accounting 2.
They say it's like a make or break class. Like if you're going to stay in business, then it's like econ. It's like one of the first hard classes you take. So
I couldn't understand why I didn't get it either. It's like everything is right here.
Yeah.
And that's what the professor would say too. He's like, all the numbers are right here in the thing. You just got to plug them in the formula. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why it's not clicking here, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Accounting didn't come too hard for me. We also played Monopoly as our final project.
Oh, that's easy.
And we had to keep track of all of our, debits and credits and all that stuff.
That seems like it would be a fun way to learn.
It is. It was fun. And then we had to put it all in an Excel sheet.
I think we should do that. That should be the way we learn nowadays.
Through games.
Yeah, why not?
We can learn.
Make it fun.
Medical through operation.
Well, that's a difference. I mean, you could learn where things are.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually removing organs, I think we should go into a little more detail.
No. Just take your pair of pliers and reach in. And if the nose lights up, then.
If the person beeps.
Yeah.
You messed up.
You messed up bad.
Yeah. I saw this person talking about ChatGPT the other day and a way to use it as a learning tool. And did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So a lot of people are worried that, kids are going to use ChatGPT to write their papers.
Yeah.
And so that's like a big concern nowadays. And what this person was saying is that maybe we should use that. You tell a kid, go home and have ChatGPT write a paper over whatever subject you're trying to teach that day. And then the next day they come in with the paper already written and they critique it and they make it better.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a smart way to use the tool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we should still teach kids how to write papers, though.
I'll give you a for instance.
Okay.
We recently worked on the same film.
Yeah. Amityville NATO.
Yes. Did Jeff reach out to you for a bio and a picture?
Mm-mm.
Okay. He might reach out to you for a bio and a picture. So he reached out to me the day for a bio and a picture. And I was like, I'm going to try this out. So I write out like 5 sentences of my bio and then I plug it into ChatGPT and I was like, make this more professional. And the first version that came out was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can read it for you.
Okay.
If you want me to. I mean, I think ChatGPT reached deep into the thesaurus.
Yeah.
Like it pulled out everything that it could find. Anyway, I used it to finesse my bio.
Right.
I wrote it essentially, but it finessed it and made it way better.
More.
Yeah, let me find this real quick.
It sounds like it'd be a great tool for resume building and stuff.
I mean, that's the good stuff right there. Okay. I don't know. I'll just read what ChatGPT wrote.
Okay.
Mr. Kyle Wigington, a distinguished alumnus of Arkansas State University, embarked upon a remarkable journey that led him to discover his profound passion for the performing arts during his illustrious college athletic career. Upon the successful completion of his esteemed degree, he astutely established his professional domicile in the vibrant city of New Orleans, where he has since showcased his exceptional talent in a multitude of over 20 cinematic productions.
Oh my God.
As well as adroitly helmed several directorial ventures. In addition to his impressive repertoire, he has further expanded his creative horizons by launching his very own podcast, aptly named Another Podcast, which has garnered widespread acclaim.
They definitely used a thesaurus on that.
Bro, it was ridiculous. I basically, the next sentence after that was, make it a little less professional.
Yeah.
A little less.
Make it. Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, I think it's a tool that we can use to basically trick society into thinking that we're better than we are.
Right.
Kind of the same way we do social medias.
Yeah.
Like no one's perfect, but social media makes you think that everyone's fucking perfect.
Yeah. Everyone's getting shows that you're not, and everybody's going on vacations you can't afford, and yeah.
You should just eat them, right?
Just eat them, yeah. I think murder should be legal if you use every part of the body afterwards.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking hard.
Yeah.
What would you use the body for, though?
Oh, I don't know.
Because, like, we kill animals in Arkansas.
Yeah.
We still don't use every piece of the body.
No.
But something does eat the other pieces that you leave out there in the woods.
Yeah. I guess I don't know what bones would. I guess bones stay for a long time.
There are
even
animals that
you
eat
can
those,
turn
though.
into glue and stuff.
Well, there are animals that eat those.
Okay.
Pigs come along.
They eat bone?
Bro, pigs eat anything.
Really?
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's impressive.
What's that movie? It's like one of those British caper movies. Snatched. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
have a pig farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
It was something I was going to add into that. Dead air, dude.
Dead air.
It's okay. It's the first one back,
Yeah.
We're talking about eating bodies and stuff. It's cool. Yeah. So, that's it. Whoa.
Speaking of dead people.
Yeah.
Someone just died.
Now they're still doing construction upstairs for anyone who just heard a loud bang. I'm not sure if it's actually picking up in the mics or not. What I was going to say is I was recently having this conversation with a highly liberal human.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if she goes by female or not. So I don't want to
right.
Inside a riot. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I was telling her about when I was in Arkansas over the summer. I went fishing. I went.
It's like every time you start talking.
Every time I start talking. What are they doing up there, man?
They're doing something.
I think they're doing elbow drops.
Yeah.
They're practicing wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went fishing, and in this pond that we fish in, all of the like really small fish, like the really tiny ones, we won't throw them back because we fish and we release, catch and release. And she was like, ugh, catch and release. That's so, like you hurt the fish and then throw them back in there. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I get it. I get it. And then and she was asking about like if we throw them all back. And I was like, no, actually the small fish, we toss them on the bank. So we basically kill them. We toss them on the bank. And she was like, oh my God, that's so bad. And I was like, yes, it's bad when you only think in like a one perspective way. Right. But if you think that at nighttime, there are going to be raccoons that come up and they're going to have a free meal sitting there for them on the bank. So it's going to feed all the other animals. And she's like, oh, well, that makes sense. And I think that's a lot of the issues that we have nowadays where we look at it from a surface level. Right. We don't go a little deeper and go, hang on, maybe there's other stuff to this. It's good.
I think you're absolutely right on that.
And that brings you back to my point on eating people.
All right.
I think that people would straighten their act up if you could eat them.
Yeah. Yeah. If murder was legal, do you think a lot of people would still do it? Or
I think that murder wouldn't be a problem if it was legal.
Really?
Yeah. And because I think that people would start acting in a better way.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be murdered.
Yes. Yeah. If there was like, because I mean, there is always a threat that someone will murder you if you do something, but we live in a civilized society. Yeah. You know, in air quotes. So most people aren't going to go to the extreme. But if someone challenged you, you being a large man, and you weren't a nice guy, right? And the threat was there that this man could choke me, then I think that the world will be a very different place.
Very different. Yeah.
But since you're a very nice guy, when someone challenges you, a lot of times you're like, I don't want to hurt this human. Yeah. So you just kind of like go with the flow. So I think it would be I think it should be an option.
Maybe do like a purge where it's once every couple of months.
I don't know, man. Because then you have, so my issue with the purge is certain weapons only super wealthy people will be able to afford. Right. So it's it doesn't level the playing field really. Like it does give you the option to kill somebody, but I think it'll just have a bunch of poor people killing each other.
Yeah, that's the whole point of those movies, is to show the super elite being like, take care of the poor and the disenfranchised.
I've never seen the movies.
Oh, they're good.
Explain it to me.
So the whole point after like there's like 6 movies now and a TV show.
TV show's filmed here, right?
Yeah, parts of it at least. It's based here, I think. Anyway, so like they find out in the second movie that it's just the super elite paying these hitmen and mercenaries to go into like poor neighborhoods and kill all the people because it like I don't know exactly why, but yeah, they do that. And it's supposed to be the message of the movie.
So it's like a culling of the week.
Culling, yeah.
But do the week actually rise up? And
eventually, yeah. That's what the TV show's about.
Yeah, I think that's also a cycle of history that we look at. Is a lot of times you see, I think we're nearing one of those processions right now, because you'll see that the wealth gap is skewed so much that eventually it has to collapse.
I was going to say the wealth gap now is higher than it was during the French Revolution.
That's insane.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I was watching something the other day. I was talking about this being a silent depression. Yeah. That we're actually in a depression right now, but there's no one saying it. Right. And I think that speaks levels or volumes about our society, is the fact that no one's willing to step up and have the balls to say, hey, we need to stop doing this because people are getting hurt. Yeah. I was speaking to a guy I know that runs, he runs like warehousing for all these like large companies. And he was telling me that that companies are shutting down right now in their warehouses. Why? He said that the work's not there anymore. So they're just shutting these companies down. Dang. It's scary. And that's another thing that people aren't talking about. And that's kind of what he was saying. He's like, yeah, this is happening, but no one's reporting on it.
Saying anything. That's horrifying.
Because what happens when people start saying it? They rise up and they say, what the fuck's going on? Right. It's kind of like what's going on in the film industry right now with all the strikes. Yeah. And So, oh man, I don't have my headband on. That's what's going on. That's why
you got to get your headband back.
That's why we're having like brain farts right now.
Right.
No, I was talking to Hunter was down at the Hunter McHugh. He's a casting director friend that we know. He was down at the coffee shop earlier when I was down there, and we were kind of chatting about this stuff too. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, they're not budging." Dang, look at this guy yawning in a podcast.
Sorry.
Like my conversation's that boring.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
What'd you do last night?
I went home and went to bed, but I just had one of those nights where I had horrible dreams and I was up every hour. And
what'd you dream about?
I had a really, really weird dream that I was like this. Have you ever seen the movie AI, directed by Steven Spielberg?
What happens in it?
This kid is a robot. He's an AI, and he wants to be a real. It's basically Pinocchio.
Is it the little kid from like Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I know the movie. Yeah.
Well, essentially, I was that kid.
Okay.
But my parents were very abusive, and I had to kill them. And I was like, I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I got to reset. That was weird.
I've been having those dreams here lately too.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's been one of those, and yeah, I haven't been able to sleep well here lately either.
Dang.
Yeah, I wake up at like, I sleep like 4 hours and then I'll get up.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'll do the same thing. I'll do the reset.
Yeah.
I'll kind of like try to go back to sleep, but then eventually I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I go to the gym and I work out and I get my day started at like 4 a.m. Even, there you go again.
I'm yawning
I see
again.
you, dude.
I'm sorry, I tried to stifle it.
Now, even, maybe we should talk about something that interests you. What interests you, Colton?
Lots of things interest me. I was interested by the conversation. I was just yawning. I'm sorry.
I forgot what you were even talking about now.
You were at the coffee shop with Hunter, and they said they're not budging.
Oh yeah, he just said they're not budging, and we were talking about one of our buddies that we know. You may know Tevin. You know Tevin?
I don't think so.
Okay, Tevin's an actor friend of ours, and he knows like what Tevin, because Tevin's his roommate.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I know like what Tevin gets in residual checks.
Yeah, and
he said these shows are hugely successful that he's on, and he's getting like maybe 10 cents in residual checks.
Sad.
Yeah, it's insane. And I had a guy on a while back that his name, oh my God, brain. Anyway, Jared Bankins, that's his name.
Okay.
He was recently on Twisted Metal.
Okay.
The TV show. Yeah, he was on here and we were kind of chatting about the same thing. And he was telling me, he's like, you know, I love acting is what he was saying. Yeah. Like I have to do it.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about it. Like I have to do it. It's kind of the way you feel about comedy.
Right.
I have to do these things, but I also have to have a job.
You have
because it doesn't pay. Yeah.
Right.
He was in that show, which has been hugely successful.
Very successful.
And he still works construction.
Damn.
Like, yes, you get up and go to a construction job. And it's like, how do you like balance both of those things? You can't unless you have a super flexible job.
Right.
Kind of like construction, kind of like running a bar, kind of like what you do. We have to have flexible hours to be able to do our craft. And it's like, why else would, I think that's stifling creativity out of the environment.
It absolutely is. And creativity is so big. Like you think of just, not even just entertainment, but just being able to think creatively. Mm-hmm. It's huge to like seeing one problem and then thinking of all the ways you can solve it. Like that's creative thinking. Mm-hmm. Creative thinking isn't just writing a screenplay or painting a picture.
No, it's solving problems.
It's solving problems. Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
That's intense, but let's keep going. Let's push through this.
Okay. They got a sawzall or something in there cutting something.
Is that what that is?
Sounds like it. You can hear the vibration of it.
But so you think that's, what's the, is it Fahrenheit 451?
Fahrenheit, yeah.
Where they start taking words out of the,
they start burning books. Books are illegal.
Okay. Which one's the one where they start taking words out of the lexicon where you can't speak negative
1984.
Okay. Where you can't speak negative of the government?
Yeah. You can't think negatively at all.
You can't think negatively. And when you can't think negatively, then there's no way you can speak negative thoughts.
Right.
And that's wild when you think about it. Yeah. Like if we didn't have a word for hate, there's no way we could say that I hate this.
That's true.
So you just have to go, disagree. And disagree is probably a bad word too.
Yeah, they probably took that one out too. What do they call it? They call it smart think or something?
What is that?
I don't remember.
Gosh, man, it's the headband. It's not here
The
today.
headband's not here.
Yeah, I told you I've been having those like negative dreams and stuff here lately. So I pushed the reset button yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took a pretty gnarly dose of psilocybin.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of like sat with myself, listened to some music, just kind of hung out with myself all day.
Yeah.
And I do feel better today.
That's good.
Yeah, I even felt better yesterday. I think sometimes you got to press the reset button.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I've been doing morning pages.
What is that?
Do you know about this?
Mm-mm.
Some lady came up with it in this book called The Artist Way. And basically you wake up and you fill out 3 pages of just like stream of consciousness writing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been helping me a lot.
You know, I have that book sitting on my shelf.
Do you really?
I've never read the book.
Give it a read. I haven't read it, but I've watched videos on people who have read it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their big takeaway was the morning pages. So I just started doing that, and I'm coming up with more jokes. I feel more free. I'm thinking more positively.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think you basically start your day off with a win.
yeah, that's basically what it's saying, is that you're starting off with a win, and that you get something easy out of the way, even though sometimes filling up 3 pages is really hard.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that you do 3 pages.
Yeah. Well, they're composition notebook pages. So
It's like 80 lines still, right?
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And I'll do 2.5 or, 2 3/4 sometimes. Sometimes I'll do 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah. It's impressive. I would be good just to get 1 page out.
Yeah. And look, if that's what it takes to start, just start with 1 page.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's me with reading a book.
yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but I do 5 pages a day.
Mm-hmm. And then you feel that momentum. So maybe you'll do 10 pages.
Some days I do, yeah. But I make sure that I get my 5 pages a day in because I'm a horrible reader.
Yeah.
When it comes to focus, I'm like,
Yeah.
especially now that we got these stupid
The
things.
phones. Yeah.
Just want to throw these fucking things. Black boxes of death.
Yeah. Yeah. I started reading too. I set a timer for 30 minutes, and the only thing I can do is read. I can sit there and think of stuff, but the only thing I can have in my hands is a book.
Mm-hmm.
So
What kind of stuff do you like to read?
I've been reading Neil Gaiman. I've been reading Good Omens.
Mm-hmm.
Really funny. I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books. Just finished those. I've been reading what's it called? The Bell Jar, which is not funny at all. It's very sad.
What happens in it?
It's basically this lady, and Sylvia Plath wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia Plath, famous for the bell jar and sticking her head in an oven. So
She actually did that?
yeah, she killed herself by
Like inhaling the gas?
yeah.
It's not a bad way to go.
Yeah. It's painless, allegedly.
Huh.
Anyway, it's about this lady, and she's like trying to find herself in New York. And then she's like, because she's in this program for artists, and she can't do that. So she goes back home, and then she's like, I guess I'll just become a secretary, and I'll marry this dude that I hate. And it's just very depressing.
What else happens?
That's basically it. It's basically her just spiraling.
Just giving up?
Yeah.
And then she dies?
She doesn't die at the end. No.
Does she have kids?
Yes.
So basically she goes from living the artist way into normal society?
And she can't stand it.
I think that would be me.
Yeah.
Like there's been several times that like I've been dating people and they're like, hey, let's have kids, let's start a family. And I'm just like, I know that if I have kids, I'm going to have to go and be like my father was.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start working a full-time job to support a family and all this stuff. And I know that my brain would just give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I might need to read that because that's probably the route that I would go down if I did, try to live a normal life.
Yeah. The Bell Jar is great. They say to read it when you're like in your 20s and you don't know what to do.
So I can't read it anymore.
You can't read it anymore. You're too old.
Damn it.
No, you can still read it.
I've aged out.
There's this great quote where she's like, I was looking at a fig tree, and every fig tree was a possibility. I could become a translator. I could become an artist. I could do this. And then I was, as I waited for looking at all the fig trees, they all fell to the ground and rotted. So it's like burdened by choice. You
have to take action, man.
That's a huge part of the book is taking action and doing it.
That's what I tell a lot of people. Because, you know, some people look at this and like, you know, your podcast, whatever. And I'm like, dude, it's forward momentum.
Right.
Like the more that we do this, the more forward momentum we gather behind whatever else we're doing. Mm-hmm. And even the short films that like we're trying to do with Chance or that we're doing with Lamar Advertising, the 48-hour film fest we just did.
Oh, did that just happen?
Yeah, it happened like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
We just did the award ceremony, which
cool.
You know, not bragging, but we took home 6 awards.
Shit, out of 7.
Boom. Yeah. So anything you're doing to like build a forward momentum, like do it. That's just it's movement.
Nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah, man. Even like sitting around thinking all the time. Like it's good to think. It's good to have a plan.
It's good to meditate, but you also have to take action.
You got to run, man.
You got to run.
Walk before you run.
Yeah. Crawl before you walk.
Crawl before you walk, baby. But get to moving.
Get to moving.
I wonder if that's why she killed herself, because she
was horribly depressed and in a bad marriage, and
she saw herself that.
Yeah.
So she basically wrote the book about herself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's the only book she's ever written, and she's written a bunch of poems and short stories too.
Did she ever make money off of her art?
I don't know.
I wonder about that sometimes. Like how do these artists like survive? Even the ones that did it back in the day.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times they just marry rich people.
Yeah. John Kennedy O'Toole went to school at Forshey, same school I went to. And
Flex.
He wrote A Confederacy of Dunces. Are you familiar? It's basically this big fat guy who sucks. He lives in New Orleans and he lives with his mom and he wants to be like a historian. And his mom's like, you got to get a job. So he works for Lucky Dog, pushing the cart, and he like wastes more money eating. It's a great book. Anyway, he also killed himself before he had any success. John Kennedy O'Toole did. And Confederacy of Dunces is probably one of my favorite books.
So then he got wild successful.
He won a Pulitzer Prize after posthumously.
That's crazy.
So he wrote the book and then he killed himself, and then also CO2 poisoning. So
how did he do it?
He taped a hose from his exhaust to his like car window, and he just left it on idle. And
how long do you think that takes?
I don't know. I'm not trying to find out either, though. But his mom took found his manuscript and brought it to a Loyola professor and was like, you got to read this. And he read it and they got it published and he won a Pulitzer Prize.
Makes you think how many great works are out there in a shoebox somewhere.
Right. How many great films are just stuck up here?
Yeah.
You know, someone who didn't even try.
What's one thing to have it up here? It's another thing to have it on paper already.
Right.
That's a big part of it. It's just getting it out of here.
Yeah.
So for someone that actually got it out of here and on paper,
that's huge.
And they're still not making anything with it.
Yeah. That's still huge.
I think that a lot of times when you have artists like that who've created something awesome, maybe they submit it to a publishing house and the publishing house looks at it and says, you know what, this is really good, but I don't stand to make that much money off of it.
Right.
While this person's alive.
Right.
Like there's no way I can use that as a marketing tool whenever this person dies. Or I've heard, in the rap game.
Yeah.
This rap game.
I've heard of it.
XXXTentacion.
I've heard of him.
Okay.
He was murdered or something?
Murdered, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, really good music, really thoughtful music. What I've heard they do in the rap game is they take out life insurance policies on the rapper. So the record execs that sign these guys will take out a huge life insurance policy on the rapper, and then they somehow get killed.
That's got to be illegal.
And the record execs collect on the life insurance policy.
Wow.
And then XXXTentacion is still releasing music.
Yeah.
Because he had a wide,
It had such a discography.
Yeah, he had a deep discography. So they're still putting out music. They're still making money off of him. He died. They collected on a life insurance policy and they moved on to the next one.
That's sad.
It's the
evil.
Fucked up world, man.
Yeah. Prince allegedly has still like albums and albums of disco music that's never been released because in his words, there was nothing good to roller skate to. So he made his own disco music.
That guy was a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cool thing about him is he owned all of his own music.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably why the music will never be released too, because no one stands to make money off of it.
Right. Except his estate, which I don't know if he had any kids or anything.
I don't know.
Any princes to the prince.
He had to have had some kids.
Whether he knows it or not.
You think he was straight?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
A huge womanizer.
He had a lot of flair.
He had a lot of flair. My favorite story about Prince is he performed at Super Bowl 40 something, the Colts and Bears Super Bowl in Miami, and it was pouring rain. And like this PA comes up to him and is like, "Hey, it's going to be raining when you go out there. Is there anything we can do to help you or make your performance better?" And he goes, "Can you make it rain harder?"
Is that real?
That's true.
Oh my God. Can you make it rain harder?
Yeah.
Legend.
Absolute legend.
There was a story about, I think they were at a James Brown concert. You may have heard the story. James Brown sees Michael Jackson out in the audience and he's like, "Hey, Michael, you got to come up here and do a little piece."
Yeah.
So he calls Michael up, and then Michael goes up there and Michael whispers in James' ear. He's like, I'll do something, but Prince is also out there. So you got to call Prince up. So, James Brown or Michael Jackson does his piece, and then James Brown gets on the mic and he's like, "And I also heard that Prince is out there."
Yeah.
So Prince, get up here. And it took a minute to get Prince up there, but Prince rode up there on his bodyguard's back. So he gets up to the stage, gets off his bodyguard's back, does his like performance,
right.
And then he goes over to like this pole that's sitting up, and he tries to like swing on the pole. And when he does, the pole falls over.
Oh shit!
And he thinks that Michael Jackson set him up.
Yeah,
because Michael Jackson was the one that told him to call him up there.
Right.
So Michael Jackson and Prince didn't get along after that.
Shit.
Prince actually tried to run Michael Jackson and his mom over in his car.
Fuck.
And Michael Jackson was telling this story. That's how he told it to somebody. I forgot who he told it to, but that's a wild story.
That is wild. That is hilarious.
Yeah, these circles are connected, man. All these are. Just like time.
Yeah.
Colton, what's new, man?
It's new. Got a new job.
Yeah, you liking it?
I am liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
You want to talk about it, or you just want to?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I work for the ferry department in Plaquemines Parish. So I ride the ferry all day and I tie it up and I park cars and I tell cars where to go and they don't go where I tell them.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Follow this instruction.
It's literally like I'll be waving someone forward and they'll be like turning and trying to get into the other lane. I'm like, all right, just go where you want to go.
Why?
I don't know. Like young kids too. Like
are they just not thinking or what?
I don't know what. I think they're not thinking. And so
they're like on their phones and shit. Like,
there's a lot of on their phone. There's a lot of tapping on glass, waking people up, telling people to keep it moving. And
like as they're waiting in line?
As they're waiting in line, there will be cars in front of them moving and they'll just be tick, tick, tock, tock, tick, tock, tick.
Dude, I hate that so much.
Yeah.
You know what I hate worse? I hate when I'm at the red light. Light turns green. People are just sitting there. No one's moving.
Yeah.
And you honk the horn and then people get mad at you.
Why are you mad at me?
Yeah. Why the fuck you honking your horn?
Because you're not moving.
And it's like the light was green. Now it's red again.
Right.
And we're still in the same spot.
Haven't moved at all. Yeah. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. What do you do with those people? You eat them.
You eat them.
That's the only solution.
The only solution.
I don't know. I don't see it going back, man. I don't see this reversing.
It probably won't.
I think people are so addicted to these things. That's a big part of it. They're so addicted to the dopamine hits they get off their phones that they can't put them down.
Yeah, I started wearing a watch. I'm not right now, just because I was tired of looking at my phone to tell the time. And it's been really cool.
Game changer.
Like I can leave my phone in the break room or whatever, and I'm not worried about getting text or whatever. I can,
I love when I'm away from my phone for a while.
Yeah.
When I'm working on film sets, I try to keep my phone away from me because I'm so engaged in what I'm doing that I don't even think about it.
Right.
And then like, I don't know, 10 hours goes by and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And I pick it up and there's like 25 text messages and like 3 missed calls.
Everyone thinks you're dead.
Yeah, I want to throw my phone. I thought about going to one of those flip phones.
Yeah, my mom's on again, off again boyfriend has a flip phone.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
He gets on with it. He digs it. He's an old Marine though, so
I was gonna see which one of those you answered.
what?
The flip phone or the mom's on again, off again boyfriend?
I like them. I thought we were talking about phones.
I mean, we were talking about either one. I just want to see which one you answered.
Okay.
Yeah.
He went to the Dave Chappelle show a couple years ago, and they make you put your phone in a bag so you don't tape it or anything. And he whips out his cell phone, and they were all like, "You can just keep it.
Yeah.
You can just hold on to that.
Like even if you do film on this phone,
It's gonna be a potato.
yeah,
It's
no
gonna
one's
be
gonna
terrible.
see this shit.
Yeah, but they have those dumb phones now where you can still have like Spotify and GPS, and you can still make calls and text, but you can't get Instagram on it or TikTok or anything like that.
That's all I need. Where do you get this at?
They sell them online.
Because Spotify, that's the only reason I have this, and I use it religiously. I love Spotify. I love music.
I love Spotify. I love GPS.
But then I catch myself just picking this up and going to Instagram and just mindlessly scrolling through. Yeah. I've even set like these timers on it where I only get 15 minutes a day. And then I get to choose whether or not I have more time added to it.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then I catch myself just hitting ignore over and over again.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, bro.
I'm just yawning.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay, Colton. You got any shows coming up?
No shows coming up. I got this new job, so that's been keeping me busy.
You can't quit creating though, man.
I know. I still write, but the job is 12 hours, 7 days a week, and you work 7, you're off 7. So, in those off 7, I'm looking to get into some more shows.
Yeah.
But
last one I saw you at was fucking dope.
Was that the secret show?
Secret show.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was so freaking cool, man. He texted me and he's like, "Hey, we got this show going on." So I look it up and it's a secret show deal. So basically you go and you pay the money for the tickets, and the day of they text you the location and the time. And it was this dope hotel.
The Virgin Hotel.
Virgin Hotel. Yeah, it was super nice. We went up to like, I don't know,
13th floor or something.
13th floor. I was going to say 30th, but 13th sounds good. Go up to this floor and super nice area, the super nice venue, packed out show.
Packed show, 100 people.
Bro, it was dope.
Yeah.
All the comedians killed it.
Every comedian just, I think, yeah, this crowd was hot. The crowd wanted to laugh, which is big. Like 3 people bought me beers, which I love.
That's huge. That means you did good.
That's a huge barometer of how well you do, I think. It was so much fun.
Yeah. However they choose the comedians at night, they made the right choices.
Yeah. Well, the thing about New Orleans is the whole scene is pretty funny, I think. Like we don't really have that many stinkers.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
even the guy that's coming on next is pretty good.
Who?
Chance.
Oh, yeah.
If we have it, man, I don't know. Like this.
Yeah.
This may be kind of.
Might have to listen back to this one. And
yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the entire scene's, it's good, man.
It's a good scene.
It's about, we don't really have like one comedy club.
There is a comedy club on Fulton Street.
But does it get packed?
It gets packed.
Okay.
Yeah. But people don't come here for comedy.
Yeah. They come for Bourbon Street to party, which was actually cool that I think the secret show thing is what draws people in. They're like, ooh, a secret show. Ooh. Anytime you put secret in there, you make people feel like they're seeing something they shouldn't see.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the secret shows is it's like national. So I did the show the same night that one of these comedians that I follow did a show. And it's kind of like we were on the same show.
It was. Yeah. Where did they do that one at?
New York.
New York?
New York.
Yeah. Who's the comedian?
Joe List.
Joe, the guy from Impractical Jokers?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Joe, I think that's Joe Salvano or something.
Okay.
Joe List he's just a really funny guy. Really funny guy.
Makes sense. He's a comedian.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to say, and now I've forgotten it.
It's okay. It happens.
Yep.
Think about it for a
second. I don't have my headband on.
You left yours at home too?
Left mine at home.
Colton, anything else you want to say to the great people before we call it for the day and try to listen back and see if this is a nuisance of a podcast?
Yes. I'd like to say,
I love it.
Yeah.
Where can the people follow you at?
They can follow me on Instagram at colton.r.patterson. And then I've got a couple of YouTube videos up of my stand-up at Colton Patterson Comedy Hour Extreme on YouTube.
Lit. And he's also going to be in Amityville NATO, which is coming out soon.
Yes.
So keep on the lookout for that. Colton, thank you for coming today, brother.
Thank you for having me, Kyle.